It's black on ours.
It's live on YouTube.
Sure, it's setting up.
Mine says it's live now streaming.
Right,
Mine says live too.
it's buffering.
Should I wait for that orange bar? There it is. Okay, I want to welcome everybody to the special city council meeting of April 23rd, 2020. Madam Clerk.
Good afternoon. The city attorney would like to make an announcement to the council regarding the teleconferencing of this meeting.
Good afternoon, Mayor and Council. As you all know, the governor has issued an order suspending temporarily certain Brown Act provisions, specifically those pertaining to telecommunication meetings. For this particular meeting, there will be telecommunications, and council was not necessarily present in any particular building. I will note that all votes will be done by roll call, and I would ask the mayor to recognize me for a couple of questions after the roll call.
Will do, Martin. Madam Clerk, roll call.
Councilmember Hudson?
Here.
Councilmember Alone?
Here.
Councilmember Perkins?
Here.
Vice Mayor Zafar?
Here.
And Mayor Clarkson?
Here. Martin.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Is there anyone here who could not hear the goings on up to now? Could you indicate so by raising your hand? Seeing no one, the next question is there anyone here who has any reason to believe that anyone on screen is not who they say that they are? Again, seeing no one raise their hand, I will turn the meeting over to the mayor.
Thank you, Martin. Madam Clerk, next item.
Item 2, public comment.
Public comment for items on the agenda. Is there anybody in the audience who is asked to speak?
I have received
Not on the agenda.
one written comment, and I'll wait to see if anyone in attendance would like to speak as well.
Okay, you can go ahead and do the one written comment, go back to and see if anybody's raised their hand.
Actually, the person who submitted the written comment is the one who wants to speak right now and address the council. So.
Great.
Lourdes?
I'm going to unmute myself. Can you guys hear me now? Okay, great. I'm sorry I was late because I was actually speaking to another colleague of mine. I'm a realtor. And the reason why I'm doing this is because I'm also concerned about, of course, the community. I love my community. I've been here for a good 2.5 years. I'm also a member of Rotary. And more recently, you know, I'm just worried in general because people are not wearing masks in enclosed public spaces such as groceries, you know, even going to the pharmacy, or let's say, you know, what else is open out there that's enclosed. So I'm thinking I have friends that know how to make masks, and they're usually they're these cotton, you know, put together, that we will make them and have them be available for free to the public. And my only thing would be where would we put them so that people know where they are? I mean, I'm volunteering essentially in my home, which is, I have this a little free library that somebody had made me. It's brand new, hasn't been used, that I can post outside so anybody can take it whenever they are. And I'll put these little masks in Ziploc containers so that they can grab it whenever they can. So not everybody's probably gonna buy it, because I've been calling people and talking to them, and they say that, oh great, it's a great idea, you know, because now they can't find them anywhere and buy them on Amazon. Apparently it's run out, it's no longer in stores. And you obviously don't wanna use the ones that are being used by the medical professional because they don't wanna run out. So I'm just proposing this as a project. And I was hoping that I can find out from you guys whether or not there is a public space that we could put it in case my HOA says, no, you can't do that. Or anywhere, really. I mean, it could be in multiple locations. You know, are the fire stations open? Or no, can I put this in a nursing home? Because they probably would need it. Or I guess that's why I'm bringing it up.
Thank you very much. We're not allowed, because of the Brown Act, to respond to public comment, but we do have your email address and we know how to contact you, and somebody will circle back around to answer your question.
Okay, sounds good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Before she leaves, I didn't look at the agenda. Do we have manager comments or council comments at the end, or is this just special meeting, we're in and out, and we can't tell her about the drop at City Hall?
That's Martin?
In and out.
Martin, could you clarify that for us?
Who is this?
Yes, you may discuss the drop at City Hall and give other information, so long as there's not a back and forth or a decision made.
Thank you, Martin.
Is it okay to tell her for now that we have a drop off at City Hall that's open virtually every day?
Yes.
And people are dropping them off so that other people can collect them. And it's at the front door at City Hall.
All right, sounds good. All right, we'll keep that on our agenda in case, like I said, my HOA does not allow that to happen. But that would be my first choice, so I don't have to bother other people. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Have a nice
All
day.
right. You too.
Stay
Okay.
safe. I will close public comment if there are no additional hands raised.
No other requests to speak.
Thank you. Madam Clerk, next item.
Item 3, new business, 3.1, local business assistance for COVID-19 relief programs.
Right. Thank you, Mayor. And good afternoon. So as you know, local businesses have been hit hard by the COVID shutdown. Cities have been looking for tools to assist local businesses in order to make it through the shutdown. Based on the frustrations expressed by local businesses with the rapid development and also the rapid depletion of federal and state assistance options, staff believes that hiring a consultant to assist with the process would be highly beneficial. We received 2 proposals from 2 consulting firms, and I'd like to just go through some of the basics of the proposals and then open it up to questions to the council. So both proposals include an intake process managed by the consultants for businesses, local businesses interested in receiving assistance. So part of that intake process would assure that it is a San Ramon business. Both proposals then include a community webinar for local businesses outlining some of the assistance available and the programs that are out there. Then they also include conducting needs assessments for the businesses who've applied. So basically finding out exactly what their goals are, what their expectations are, and exactly what they need. And also, I would imagine during the needs assessment, we would also survey the businesses to see how else can San Ramon assist them through this time, such as maybe we, waive late fees for business license applications or something along those lines. Then also the proposals include generating content for a city website that we would create. Right now we have links to specific, actually links to general programs to provide information on what's out there, but I see us enhancing that with up-to-date information and any information generated from state or federal programs that are being rolled out. I do have to note that the Altamont proposal includes a process for outlining steps for the recovery process and providing a second webinar for the phased reintegration of services once the new orders come down. So we, as a matter of fact, about an hour ago, the House just passed a $484 billion package. I believe that's the CARES Act Phase 3. And as I mentioned earlier, these are rapidly developing programs. As you heard, the PPP program through the SBA, which was the one that the payroll protection program, got a lot of coverage lately because it was a very well publicized program that ran out of funds within hours of the process opening up. And what we're finding out is that although the SBA, and this is an example of how the process is changing and how they're going to be changing and creating new rules with each rollout. The SBA typically issues the grants on a first come, first served basis. But through this particular process, what we found is that the SBA did that, but then the banks decided on what loans they would like to fund based on the amount, because they received higher fees off of the higher loans. So that's why there were some very large loans given out, and the account was drained pretty quickly. There are also other programs out there. There's one that I heard that even if the small business applies, they're guaranteed $10,000 one way or the other. If they're approved, it's a longer payback duration. If not, then it's a shorter immediate assistance program. So we feel that at this time it would be beneficial to hire one of the consulting firms to assist us with assisting local businesses in the application process.
Dave,
Oh.
you're on mute, Dave.
I thought you'd like it better if I was muted. Either one's fine with me, whoever staff takes. It's your job as far as contracting. My only issue was one of policy that it's like the fourth leg of fiduciary responsibility, only act after reasonable inquiry. Is there anybody else doing it? You did? 2 people came in, whichever one you want, they're both fine.
Scott,
My first question, of course, is how rapidly can they get on board and start helping? Because if the president signs this latest package tomorrow, I don't want to find out that our assistance program didn't get started till next Friday and the money's all gone again. How fast can you get on board?
Yeah, that's a good question, and I know both of the firms are actively engaged in the federal assistance programs now, so it's not like they're starting from scratch. The big hurdle would be the intake process, where we're assuring the local businesses are San Ramon businesses, and also the needs assessment. So I'd be happy to discuss with either firm some kind of rapid assistance outside of that we can get the information out, and if we do have a San Ramon businesses that's looking for a question, that we can have them give the consultant a call. But as we see this dragging on, I don't think that we're going to be seeing the end of any kind of programs that are going to be we're going to see new programs coming up for the months to come. So once we do get up and rolling, I think it'll be a little bit easier of a process, but I think we could do some kind of rapid deployment.
Second question, I recognize that going through the chamber is one way of getting to some businesses, but obviously not every San Ramon business is a member of the chamber. Is it possible or prudent for us to give them the list of our companies with business licenses? Would that be helpful?
That'll be part of the outreach process, is giving them that list for a database of who to reach out to. And then we're going to figure out how to contact everybody. I don't know if it's going to be through a direct mailer or just advertising on social media. We'll figure that process out, but we are going to be doing a general outreach.
Can we have San Ramon staff that's not otherwise employed help by doing contacts via phone? Help with, if we've got people that are, our Parks Community Services teams that aren't as busy as others, could they help by making phone calls to these businesses and the ones that we don't have email contacts for?
Yeah, we do have a process in one of the proposals, and again, I think this applies for both. We'll identify city staff and the resources that we have, and I'm sure if we have people who are in need of ours, we can tap into that help.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
I'll move agenda item 3.1,
Second,
local business assistance for COVID-19 relief programs.
I just had one basic question. How many businesses have reached out to the city?
It's been a little sporadic in terms of who's calling out. I've spoken to about 5 or 6 directly about assistance programs.
Joe, has anybody reached out to you? You're muted.
but we know what you said.
I've had a few, but same as Stephen, is sporadic. And I think because they realize, a lot of the businesses realize this is state and federal responses. But there has been some expressed formally and not formally expressed frustration with some of the process to actually get through the process. And
Yeah.
so this has been our
Okay.
answer to hopefully
Yeah, and they would, why would they have been asking a week ago when the money was already gone too, right? So,
Yeah.
got it.
And I think
And-
there's
and
another, oh, sorry, just to
then
add to that. Go ahead.
The motion that Dave and Scott, is this to tell you to proceed, or is this
Yes.
to pick one? You guys are picking one.
Yeah.
The staff is picking
A
one.
particular
Yeah.
one. They recommended Townsend and Associates, and my motion is to award the contract to Townsend and Associates.
And I just, like I said, it could be either way. It's, if something changes and, I mean, something comes up, Joe, it's like other contracts you make. My whole issue is when you do something like this and it's only one, this came from Lafayette or somebody else, and you find out they're not local, and afterwards you get burned for doing a good thing simply by not asking one question. That's all. And this meeting shows that we did our fiduciary responsibility. You're in the middle of it. You'll find out who's good, who's the best. And when the real problem comes, you'll be prepared.
Sabina?
Yeah, so I just wanted to, I think this is the right thing we're doing because, for businesses and especially local small businesses that have reached out to me, interestingly enough, people who've reached out to me have been small or really small home-based businesses as well, like home-based daycares, which are fairly common in our community, and women-owned businesses. So I want to make sure we are, as we're looking at businesses, we are taking count of these small businesses, which we're calling cottage industry, that do actually are suffering and, something that they bootstrap generally from their own funds and things, and they're running out of it. So for me, it'll be important, how do we focus on those really smaller businesses as well? I mean, obviously all businesses are important to the city, but personally people who've reached out and can't figure this out are also generally women running smaller businesses. So I just did want to bring up that point.
Thank you, Sabina. Scott?
Sabrina, you might want to remind them that one of the keys is if they have a small business, that they have a business license, because like I questioned earlier, if they are in our business database, then we will be reaching out to them if their contact information is up to date. This is Townsend Associates. This is the same group that we have a contract with for help in Washington and Sacramento. Isn't that correct?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, we've had a motion by Scott. The second was by who?
That's it.
Dave. Dave made the second. Okay, good. Any other further discussion? Great. Roll call
Mayor?
vote, please, Madam Clerk. Oh, Joe?
I'm not sure if I heard Councilmember Perkins. Are you recommending the Townsend and Associates
Yes.
in that motion?
Yes.
I didn't hear
Yes.
that. Okay, thank you.
Yes. Madam Clerk, roll call vote.
Councilmember Hudson,
Yes.
Councilmember Alone,
Aye.
Councilmember Perkins,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Safar,
Yes.
and Mayor Clarkson.
Aye.
Thank you. The motion passed 5-0.
Can I follow up on this one comment, Joe? Just something about the way you asked it. I mean, if you get in the middle and sign some contract or get ready to sign something and it doesn't sound right to you, I don't have a problem with you going to the other company. The only issue was that we did our due diligence and check to see if there were others out there.
That's completely understood. And the primary purpose of even bringing this small of a contract to council was the fact that it was, this is a special situation and clearly something that's occurring real time and directly part of the COVID-19 pandemic. And it was important to have some council deliberation and input on the entire process. So thank you very much for providing that information.
Scott,
Thanks, everybody. I got to go.
I asked this question, I think earlier, was you have the authority to do this without a council action, is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay, well, thank you for bringing it to us.
okay, it's been passed. Madam Clerk, next item.
Item 4, adjournment.
No. Let's stick around for a while.
Is there a motion to adjourn?
Let's adjourn.
All those in favor signify by clicking off.